So, with your kind permission, shall we start, sir?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm really delighted to host you, and I think my students would be really. It would be a great pleasure to listen to you when we post this on YouTube.
Definitely.
Right, sir?
Yeah.
Understand the story of your career. How did it all start? ये सारा शुरुआत कहाँ से हुआ?
So it's been a long time. From my childhood only, I had dream of being a civil engineer. Initially, after completing my 10th, I went for the diploma in civil engineering from Khusro Idea Institute. Then after
Okay.
completing my diploma, I went. That's when I thought of doing something which is related to CAD. So I joined CAD Center somewhere in '99 or somewhere. And
Okay.
when I completed my CAD Center Deccan course of AutoCAD and MSP, that's when I was called for an interview in Pune's Amar Builders. Was the first job that I started as my
Great.
career.
So I
Yes.
will.
Then after Amar Builders, it was a chain of various experiences that I had from various builders in Pune.
Students, in the heat of curiosity to get ahead, I forgot to introduce Mr. Pritam Tikhe. Mr. Pritam Tikhe has completed 3 years now, and it has done several projects in Pune and Maharashtra. Sir is a BE Civil from Pune University. He has done his PG, PPA research, and this I found very interesting. Sir is also an MBA Finance from Ulyanovsk University. Have I pronounced it correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had practiced it before saying it. Sir has now got more than 20 years of experience in construction, in building construction. He has worked for a lot of reputed firms in Pune. And when I met him, he was the uh, head of contracts and billing. I think with that organization also, sir served
10
about
years.
10 years. It is really great to have you here, sir.
Thank
Let's
you.
in the interview. So, what are you doing currently, sir? And how is it going?
Yeah, I am right now involved in my own projects, doing
Okay.
for my own company. And here I am looking after almost all aspects of the project, right from feasibility study, designing till handing over all the.
Do you mostly use, sir?
Yeah, in fact, MS Office and MSP is the main software that we are using. MSP, that is what we widely used for project planning, monitoring, controlling, and changing almost all the aspects and sequences of the project. You see, when it starts from the project's point of view, you start about creating a lot of activities. You are required to monitor, you are required to enter the details of the labor required, the manpower, the material, the costs and everything. It is able to take out the daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports. The critical path is also analyzed very easily using this MSP as such. So we are almost day in and day out using this.
Well versed with Microsoft Project MSP, and there are people who still are only using advanced Excel. So, what is the difference in the work productivity, and what are the challenges when you are not using MSP? What happens in a day to day?
Yeah,
Can you
in
give me
fact,
a practical
it's
example?
just like you're writing something on a paper and handing over it to somebody who will be understand his own terms. And when you are
Okay.
using MSP or something which is widely used or which is very much easy to be conveyed, so it gives you a very clear idea of what is to be done at what time, at how uh, power and everything required. So when somebody is not using MSP or when somebody is not using such sort of software, he will only be at his own place doing information to the person who is required to actually work on it. So that's how the difference is.
Okay. So it is manual and automation. So using MSP is the need of the hour today.
Exactly.
I'm asking this question because I want to understand from a job seeker's point of view that what are the opportunities somebody learning MSP today can have.
Yeah, today there are different work profiles. In
Okay.
project designing or project management, there are various work profiles. Like the design engineers, cost engineers, estimation engineers, quantity surveyors. Even we right now have some quality control and cost control engineers. What the project is and how this project is going ahead, the updation of this project everywhere. Nobody will expect you to do it without softwares. Whatever today, all the engineers and architects are will ask you definitely that whether you have this or that. So if you are not able to understand the use of softwares, you are not
So
updated.
when I met you for the first time, this
Yes.
was, I think, somewhere about July 2013, and
Oh.
you had a very gala cabin in Amanora township. What was the scope of your profile then? What were your
Yeah,
KRAs?
actually,
And how did you manage such a big township project?
actually, to manage such a big township project, it's who will be doing their job, their task given assignments. And in Amanura Park town, when I was working, initially when we started, there was only the manual, as you just said, that everything was manually done using MS Excels or Max at the level of AutoCAD related transmitted letters were there. And when such a big township is to be monitored and properly executed, you require a lot of, there are many complexities. Much of the complex projects were being done and are being done right now also. But this needs all the people on a single platform. On the same platform, you need to have this sort of uh, involvement of all the people. So in Amanora also, we did this using MSP. We had a session there, I understand. Now, for a particular team, we asked you to send somebody who will teach our team MSP over we had completed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was such a great thing that people, after understanding this MSP and learning from you this MSP, they were able to help me in various projects
Okay.
wherein I got there. See, everyone is having his own way of thinking. How he keeps it, how he uses and applies it is the matter. Everyone did a great job, and we completed almost 5,000 apartments in a span of 4 years.
3 4 years. My
Yes.
God. That is humongous. Stop the training.
Actually.
But I want to understand just on a day-to-day basis how MSP was used within the team. I want you to give a complete, very granular breakdown of what people, let's say, doing. When did he submit the reports to you? Just for the sake of understanding of our students here, can you just give
Yeah.
a day, a very granular, very small breakdown of the things that you did with MSP?
Of course. But in a broad view, we uh, bifurcated all those projects in small projects. So the
Okay.
main project in a different project. These different projects were further divided into the WBS
Okay.
levels, and
WBS
all
levels.
these
Okay.
WBS levels, where there were two people in each team, and these two people used to always update the information that is received from the site and review the entire reports. These progress review reports were having each and every activity which was given a particular duration was monitored, and whether that particular activity required less time or more time, the less manpower or the manpower was increased, the cost, each and every aspect was monitored on each and every activity. And that the particular S curve and sort of reports which were helpful in minimizing the cost and of course the time duration that was required. So it was a huge success, I will say,
Give
that
me a story of
by doing
how
this,
this planning and tracking and monitoring of each task on the WBS helped you save cost. Because we keep on
yeah.
hearing this that this tools helps you cut costs, cut time. Can you narrate me exemplifies that how cost is and time is
I'll give you a small example. I was working on a
saved?
project of a school building, and the school building was to be completed in a short time of 4 months only. We had
Okay.
from 8 2010 was the only time duration that we had, and we had to complete the complete project of a school building. From it was of course a what we can say, uh, primary and pre-primary slabs of 25,000 square feet each, including all the finishes of rooms and blackboards and everything. So that school building that we were given, we completed it in 119 days only. And
Okay.
the cost cutting, I am coming to the point that you asked, is about cost cutting. What happened? The parent had earlier decided, the architect had given us a particular drawing. In fact, when there are different people involved in the project, they'll give you whatever they feel like, and you are required or not. So when one person gave us that, no, this window will require this much of cost, we analyzed, because we had a particular time. We knew that using MSP, this is the task that we'll have to do at next month. So we started exploring in the
Okay.
month before that. So the cost of windows and paints was reduced to about 23%, 25%,
How was that?
which
How
because
could you
of
reduce
the
that cost?
selection,
Okay, you had
when
time to
it
take the survey and everything, kind of.
yes, yes,
Okay, okay,
yes,
okay.
exactly.
So there is very less of firefighting, and because there is things are planned and things don't
Yes,
become urgent, so you have something like that. That is
exactly,
fantastic. So
exactly.
next question is how the because a lot of the work that you gave was awarded to the as you headed the contracts department. A lot of the work was done through contractors. So how is the interaction on the MSP software? Because who makes the planning? Is it the contractors who make the planning, or was it the principal, client who will make the planning and give it to the contractor and expect them to finish it on that timeline? How does it actually pan out?
Yeah, actually, own planning. Unless he is having his own entire planning, he'll not be able to give different
Okay.
work packages. So, if a particular work is to be allotted to a
Huh.
particular contractor, then the principal employer will allot only one particular package, let's say of RCC, masonry, plastering, waterproofing works, which is called as shell and core works. Then finishes
Okay.
activities will be uh, given to some other conting, windows, doors, and so on. So this work package entirely is required to be first planned by the principal employer. He'll plan for the construction activities, he'll plan for the pre-construction activities, also for the post-construction activities. Even in construction, he'll plan it for share and core works, then for finishes, for services, and for other development and infrastructure works. So what happens is, if the principal employer is not having his plan, contractor will do it as per his own planning for his particular package, not for the entire project. So that's where you are required to be very handling contracts and billing and planning as well. I used to do these different packages, and with the help of planning engineers, of course, it was not only me, it was the
Yeah,
team of
yeah.
about 70, 80 people who was helping me out to complete and get the success of these projects. So there were planning engineers, estimation engineers, quantity surveyors, and contract engineers, as well as billing engineers. So these people helped me out in planning, execution, monitoring, and handing over the. Even we had these people who were sitting there doing the rate analysis only. They
Okay.
used to give me that this is the particular rate, and this rate needs to be allotted at this particular margin. So we used to keep a particular margin of 5 to 10% here and there, which was required to be for the sake of the infrastructure that the contractor is having. But for the entire completion and success of the project, you are required to have your own MSP sheet, as well as the contractor is required package.
Okay. So you give them the big picture, and then they will also have their planning engineers, because they understand their constraint, they understand what resources they are going to deploy.
Right.
So they will have a separate thing, but which would be coming out
Exactly.
of the big
Exactly.
picture. Yeah, yeah. Sir, our students would like to also understand that when what was the total budget of Amanora Township?
Initially, when it started, we had started with 200 crores for the one project of 870 apartments.
Okay,
Then, after this particular project, which was the grand success, more than 2000 crores.
my
Yeah.
God. So as the budget increases, can you tell me some stories which narrate the complexity when it comes to project management? When you're what kind of
Yeah.
activities must have happened there?
Yes.
Can you tell
Yes.
me some stories about the complexity and the project management utilized there?
Yeah. What happened initially? We were given this task of creating the project's entire report, which we call it as a DPR, detailed project report, in which all the activities, all the concerned contractors, the packages that was given, when as and how the project went on further, we explored that this is the only way to complete the project in time, because completing the project in time was the major concern, I'll say. And to deploy a maximum number of labor, of course, this maximum number of labors, when I say, needs to be optimum. At the same time, the different gondolas, or the to be installed over there was planned accordingly. And of course, every project teaches you something. So in this particular project also, we learn a lot. RMC plant at the site, or will ask for the RMC from outside. Initially we did this, that initially it was from the outside only. Then when we realized that instead of taking it from outside, we installed our own RMC plant. Of course, it was installed by the contractor only, but that's how you are required to take the decision, looking at the project's pace and
And we
the
also
available time as well.
know that there is a discrepancy, there is a lag, or there is a gap between what the planning or the contracts team has scheduled and execution is the loop completed then? How is this gap monitored, and is there then a change in the entire planning, taking into the real?
Yes, sir. That's right. Yeah.
So when something happens, like you have planned, but execution is not happening as per the planning, you are definitely required to look at the critical path. And this critical path will tell you that which activity is important, needs to be done in that particular time only, so that you will not have the project's end date hampered. You are required to be keen on getting those things. जैसे हमें लगता है कुछ काम है जो हमें करने से देर हो जाएगी, तो वो काम हमें उस टाइम पे ही एग्जीक्यूट करवा लेना है। उतना अगर ध्यान देना तो हमें बहुत सारा टाइम मिलता है, सो दैट वी कैन अकॉर्डिंगली प्लान। तो ये सारी छोटी छोटी बातें आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट को हर रोज सुबह शाम दिन दोपहर हमेशा देखते हो, यू विल फाइंड दैट यू आर एबल टू हैव द गुड कंट्रोल। ये कंट्रोल छूटता है, बीच बीच में छूटता
अच्छा,
है, छूटने पर उसको छोड़ना नहीं है, उसको वापस पकड़ के रखना है। वो कैसे करेंगे? उसके लिए इस क्रिटिकल एक्टिविटी को ध्यान में रखेंगे। अगर मान लो कोई चीज है 40 दिन के पहले नहीं होने वाली, तो यू विल हैव टू कंट्रोल इन दोज 40 days दैट इट हैज टू बी हैपेंड, इट हैज टू बी कंप्लीटेड इन दोज 14 days। अगर वो 40 days अगर वो नहीं होता है, तो आपका प्रोजेक्ट तो डिले होने वाला है। तो ये आपको ध्यान में लेना चाहिए। यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू बी वेरी कीन ऑन दीज क्रिटिकल एक्टिविटीज।
so how do you provide extra monitoring or extra supervision for this critical task? Is it seen differently? Is it monitored every day? Is the progress report taken every day from the site on such critical tasks?
Yes, what happens, these critical tasks are monitored such that if you have two people today working on that particular task, and you find that these two people are not able to do the job in time, what you'll do, you will deploy more people over there. Okay, if that is
Okay.
fine, instead of getting that work done from two people only, next day you will ask, no, I want four people over here. That is the point number one. You will again observe, you will again monitor whether these four people are able to get this work done in the required time or not. If yes, fine. If no, then again you will think of doing something, maybe of two different teams, maybe you will ask for the material। इसमें बहुत सारा माइक्रो प्लानिंग होता है, जैसे कि वो लोग कहाँ से मटेरियल लेके आ रहे हैं, किस फ्लोर से किस फ्लोर तक उनको ये मटेरियल शिफ्ट करना है, यहां से लेके उनको उस मटेरियल का प्लेसिंग कैसे होना है, कैसे एप्लीकेशन करेंगे, इन सारी। सो व्हाट वी यूज टू डू इज टेक अ पर्टिकुलर वर्क पैकेज। लेट्स से एक एग्जांपल लिया टाइलिंग का, तो टाइल्स
Hmm.
के कितने बॉक्सेस चाहिए किस फ्लोर पे, कितने कौन से दिन पे, ये हम पहले आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे। ये उतने बॉक्सेस आए हैं कि नहीं आए हैं मॉनिटर करेंगे। अगर नहीं आए हैं तो ऑफ कोर्स वी आर हैविंग अ वेरी बैड प्लानिंग। तो प्लानिंग अच्छा कब होगा कि आपने उस मटेरियल्स का अरेंजमेंट करवा के रख दिया। ओके,
Mhm.
दूसरा, कल जो लोग आने वाले हैं उनको आज आपने इंटीमेट किया है कि नहीं। नहीं तो हमेशा मेनी टाइम्स व्हाट इज ऑब्जर्व, टुमारो एट 10:30 यू विल आस्क कि अरे आप लोग आए नहीं अभी तक, देन दे से नहीं हमें सर साइट तो मिला नहीं, कहाँ पे आना है कौन से जगह पर। तो ये गलती नहीं होनी चाहिए। प्लानिंग को पूरा, मतलब इसको थरो प्लानिंग बोलते हैं। अगर वो
Okay.
नहीं हो पाया तो आपका कितना भी ऑन पेपर प्लानिंग हो उसका कोई उपयोग नहीं होने वाला। सो दैट्स हाउ यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू प्लान मॉनिटर। ये हमेशा क्रिटिकल एक्टिविटी को अगर ध्यान में लो ना, तो बाकी तो आराम ही आराम है। आप बिल्कुल चैन से किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट को हंसी मजाक में कंप्लीट कर सकते हो। लेकिन आपको
Okay.
क्रिटिकल एक्टिविटीज के टाइम बिल्कुल शैतानी नहीं करनी है, कोई गड़बड़ नहीं करनी है। उसको जितना टाइम दिया है, जितना अमाउंट ऑफ वर्क है, वो पूरा करना ही करना है।
That is great. Sir, now you must have worked with a lot of junior cadre as well, mostly civil engineers, people into the first job or maybe a second job. So,
Yeah.
as a boss of such a big department, when you're handling teams of about 100 or more people, in your observation in the 10 years that you work there and the other places as well, what are the usual challenges a boss faces when working with junior engineers? Because today we want all the job seekers, all the people to be mentored by you who are looking for that first job. So I just wanted to understand that from a boss's perspective, what are the challenges that you see in them? Or in some experience, if you could give some examples without spilling the names. Yeah.
नहीं, actually there are a lot of challenges. Generally, I have observed that there are different types of freshers. Sometimes we find that a fresher himself is in a dilemma of whether he had chosen the right career or not. It's a very bad sign. They are always thinking of, अरे ये मैंने चूज किया, ये अच्छा है कि नहीं है. ये मैंने बहुत बार देखा है. तो आपने जिस किसी स्ट्रीम में पढ़ाई कर ली है, वो सिविल इंजीनियरिंग हो, आर्किटेक्चर हो, मैकेनिकल हो, लेकिन आपको उस पे पूरा भरोसा रखना है, क्योंकि यही आपको अच्छा एक्चुअली आगे चल के रिपोर्ट्स रिजल्ट्स अच्छे देता है. Then sometimes fresher are so much non-confident about what they have studied. उन्होंने सीख तो लिया है लेकिन कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं है. ये भी एक बहुत बार देखा गया है. And the main problem that we have faced while dealing with the freshers is that they are not able to apply properly what they have learned. तो ये भी बहुत
Okay.
बार होता है कि they are aware what is to be done. I'm talking of some people who were even not knowing as to whether area is calculated in square feet or the length is to be measured in running foot or running meters. They were little bit worried. Actually ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. आपको पता है, आप confidence lose नहीं करना चाहिए. So freshers need to be very much confident and whatever they have learned, of course, जब हम अपने काम के प्रति ऑनेस्ट प्रामाणिक हो जाते हैं ना, तो अपना काम आसान हो जाता है. Be honest to
Okay.
what you have learned, what you have studied, and whatever you will study will be studied from studying from the boss that you have. That's
That is
what I have
great, sir.
observed.
Yeah, yeah. So, and according to you, what are the practical skills or competencies a job seeker must have or he must upgrade on so he can, bag a good job
Yeah.
in with MSP or with AutoCAD or generally as a civil engineer, but
In
pertaining
fact,
to softwares. Yeah.
yeah. So practical skills or competencies like use of softwares, MSP, MS Office are the basic requirements. All the freshers should consider to upgrade themselves using these softwares. Understanding a subject and applying it properly are the two critical path activities in any civil engineer's career. As a project, अगर मैंने अपना करियर को ही प्रोजेक्ट मान लिया, तो मेरे करियर की एक्टिविटी, क्रिटिकल एक्टिविटी क्या होगी कि मुझे जो सीखा है उसको मैं प्रॉपरली अप्लाई कर सकूं. तो micro level planning, we must understand about its all the micro level details so that we can do the job precisely. So you must be competent to do the job of whatever nature you are given, and you should adopt and apply all the practical skills required to do that job. So take a job of quantity surveyor. He must be competent to take out the quantities, and he must be able to read the drawings, analyze the drawings, apply his brain to do the precise quantity survey. So he will require practical skills like reading AutoCAD, using MS Excel, and he should be aware of the engineering techniques to take off the quantities. तो क्वांटिटी सर्वेयर को देखेंगे तो उसको ऑटोकैड तो आना ही चाहिए. नहीं आता है तो उसको बोल देंगे यू आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू डू दिस जॉब. सिमिलरली उसको एमएस एक्सेल आना चाहिए. अगर नहीं आता है आज के दिन में, तो कोई भी आपका बुक लेके बैठने वाला नहीं है कि आपने क्या क्वांटिटीज बुक में निकाले हैं, that is required there on site, which a site supervisor will be doing, who is not even a diploma civil engineer. So he'll be doing his work, but as a civil engineer, you are required to cumulatively calculate all the quantities when
Cumulatively.
you are a
Okay.
quantity surveyor. Similarly, for designing engineers are required to coordinate. This particular pipeline is going from this particular height, and this particular electrical line is also going from the same location. So how will it manage? So that coordination is required to be done by a coordination engineer with the architect, with the services consultants, and for that he is required to understand AutoCAD completely.
Oh, that is great. So now, what are the expectations from a first-time planning engineer? Let's say one of my student is now well versed with MSP or Primavera. So as a boss, when you conduct his interview, what kind of preparation are you looking for in that interview for a planning engineer post?
Okay. So when somebody is coming to me asking for a planning engineer's job, what I'll do is I'll first of all check his engineering and technical theoretical complete idea of what base that he's having, definitely.
Okay.
And then what all tools, this MSP is of course a tool, so which will be given a particular weightage in the interview of say 35 to 40%, so that he'll be able to completely present as to what he has learned, what he has studied, understood. So from planning engineer's point of view, what planning he is doing, what is the basis of the planning, what are the day work calculations that he know, how much work can be done in a particular day, by how much, what by a team of how many people, is all what we require that somebody should understand when he is coming to us as a planning engineer. Because whatever we plan is presented through this MSP and MS Excel or something, but presentation needs the basis, and this basis is what is the crux of the entire job description, we can say.
So out of 100%, you mapped MSP tool application as 40%.
Yeah,
And this basis of planning, how much percentage, sir?
yeah, 25%.
And technical skills that you said first you will be checking.
Yeah, again, well,
Yeah,
good
sir.
evening.
It is an amazing session, sir. The way when I thought of this concept of providing support to my students by providing them mentorship through my friends and elite professionals like you, this is what I had thought of. Because sir, let's say for example this basis of planning. Now, if this is a keyword at a person who is eager to work in the as a planning engineer, before his interview for a week, if he knows this word and he prepares, he's going to crack that
Yes,
interview. Yeah. Yeah, sir.
exactly.
So we will, it is amazing and really delighted that you are the first guest in this corporate connect sessions.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So you mentioned that MSP tool would be given 40% weightage. Basis of planning would be 25%. What amount of weightage would you give to technical skills and communication skills?
Yeah, in fact, that will about 35 to 40% will go for the communication skills and the basic technical knowledge that you have, because
Okay.
you can improve on each and every skill that you have. You can improve
Right.
on your technical abilities, you can improve on your communication skills, you can improve on your the abilities to uh, present the works or assignments that you have done. But the basic importance is your adherence to what you have learned. What happens many a times, we study a lot of things, but we do not apply. So application is given, I'll say, maximum importance. Out of this percentage breakup, we'll say whatever 40-45% I've given for the use of MSPs and such sort of technical tools. 20-25% will be towards the ability to handle technical evaluation, and 30-35% I can give you for the communication skills as well as for the basic knowledge that you have.
Right. So moving on to another question which I'm really curious about. A lot of the student where I was conducting the survey that what kind of support I in person and CAD center as a whole can impart them. One of the things that I understood while talking to these students is that for them the interpretation of having communication skills is very limited. It is about fluently speaking in English, which I found little hilarious. Can you narrate the importance of communication skills when under such pressure, time pressure, cost pressure, on in project management context? Can you just give me some examples of how good communication skills has saved the day, and not so good communication skill has caused a lot of catastrophes and chaos? Over to you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically communication skills is nowadays so much important that every now and then you will have to communicate, you will have to update and forward the data. Unless you forward the data, the middle management won't be able to prepare the required reports, and information will not be provided to the higher management. The team sitting in the office is required to communicate with the site staff and the stakeholders sitting across the country. They'll be able to identify the status of the project. So nowadays, communication skill has become a most important part in any professional's career growth. Earlier, if you are not able to send a mail, it was considered. But nowadays, if you are not able to write a proper email or enter the correct data in the software that you are using, you are not supposed to be there. You are not a correct candidate over there. So for that position, you are obsolete. You are nowhere to sit.
Okay.
Apart from your
Okay.
engineering knowledge, we are also required to completely understand and use and apply the different tools like MSP, MS Office, AutoCAD, and at the same time communicate. When you communicate in whatever language, see, language, of course, communicating in English is considered to be a very good ability all over the world. Internationally, you will be recognized. But if you are not able to communicate in English, you can communicate in any language. You can express better in any language which you are able to. But unless and until you are expressing, you are communicating further, because this is the era where we are working in information technology. So IT enabled softwares, nowadays cloud based softwares we are using every day in and day out. So communication needs to be proper. If you know something, straightforward communicate it further. If you don't know, then you are not supposed to tell anything about it. You can simply say, sorry, I don't know. But if you don't know, then why you are sitting there? You are in a particular project to know about what is happening around you. And hence, communication you cannot avoid at all.
And
So be
how crucial is
communicative is the
communication,
only thing.
sir? And how
Sorry?
crucial is communication skill when it comes to team behavior or working or coordinating with team members? How crucial is it then?
In fact, your body language itself communicates each and every second. So communication has nothing to do only with the words that you say or the information that you send. Communication means you are in your team members building a confidence that we are here to assist you. And there is one good saying in Marathi, ekmeka sahya karu avghe dharu supant. So everyone
Uh-huh.
is required to assist each and everyone. That's how this will happen. If a team member is not able to understand what you want from that particular project's particular requirement is to be fulfilled, it is, if it is not being done, then this person is of no use. Then you will have to improve on him, because every day in day out you cannot go to HR and tell that no, this person is not behaving properly, this person is not giving me the reports, or not communicating properly. So HR, what they'll do, they'll just either shift the person and bring one. So known devil is better is another saying. So it's better that you handle that particular person properly, right?
Right, right. So, to grow in the leadership role, to move up the ladder in the corporate hierarchy, communication does play a very vital role. And in fact,
Exactly.
in the contracts department, the negotiation, the bargaining skills, motivating others, giving them feedback. I think all those skills. Then you must
Yes.
be the blue-eyed boy in the eyes of the management who needs to be promoted. How vital, sir, has been, because I am a big fan of how you communicate, how you make. Every time we have visited, we always felt very special, though you are such a big and very esteemed client of ours. How important has been communication skill in making your career? Because I think you started at a junior level, but then you
Yeah.
became the big boss of the contracts department, handling a 2,000 crore rupees project. So, how
Yeah.
important has been communication skill and upgrading yourself every time? Just wanted to know about that. How it has helped you.
See, in your career, you'll find a lot of different types of people who will communicate with their own ability. Whatever capacity they have, they will keep on communicating with you. So many a times, people will ask you to give some favor. People will ask you to do something which is out of the way. Many a times, you are required to even think from the bottom of your heart whether whatever you will be doing will be good for your organization or not, will be good for you as a person or not. So communication has to do with all the thinking process behind your back of your mind. And in fact, when you are stepping up on a hierarchy path, every time you have to keep smiling, you have to keep yourself happy. And that's what I personally feel has made me, people will keep on telling you a lot of jobs, lot of tasks. Sometimes your boss may come to you and ask you something to do, which is of course not a very easy task. And how you respond on that particular time, whether you say no sir, that is not my job, so no sir, that will not be completed in that particular time. So this no will keep you always behind. And of course, whatever you can do is what your boss has seen in you. That's why he has come to you and asked you something. If you say that this boss is giving me something because he wants to leave his task and put it on my head, no, don't consider it like that. You consider it as an opportunity. So everywhere you will find opportunity. Sometimes it will be a hidden opportunity that you even will not know that you are being judged. So communication starts right from your body language, your smiling face, your ability to be confident and be happy with your own work.
Yeah. And I think, sir, I love this phrase that whatever task is given, I think, as you iterated, that how you respond matters a lot. Yeah. Coming to some again the technical softwares. Uh, in the Pune job market, according to you, what are the top softwares which one must learn to secure a job? Because the students which learn, or maybe who will be watching this amazing interview of yours, are people who want to work with the softwares. So what are the softwares according to you which should which they should be knowing?
MS Office has become a very basic software or something which you should understand. You should be having hands-on experience with. MSP is very much important for a civil engineer to understand. AutoCAD, even nowadays, Revit and Primavera for those who are trying to go abroad and all. Then use of softwares or ERP softwares is also very much important nowadays. So all the organizations nowadays who are having um, good infrastructure, they are always using ERP softwares for that, so that they'll be able to communicate through the different divisions and departments of their own organization and the stakeholders as well. And SAP is also one of the leading, I'll say, software or the ERP solution that you should understand, and you should be able to do the activities using this MSP, SAP, and all ERP.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. Just before we conclude, immense pleasure, of course, meeting with you. But this whole idea that so many of my talented students are not finding the right direction, they need a lot of active mentoring. There are a lot of questions in their mind, which is creating confusion and some bit of chaos. Which career options to choose? So having somebody you on our panel of Corporate Connect, it was a great pleasure. So
Same
from
here.
me, my colleague Miss Pratiksha and Alok. This was an amazing experience, and just the way I had envisaged for it to be rolled out, absolutely amazing, sir. Yeah,
Even I am thankful. I am really delighted to share my experiences, and it was a very nice meeting with all of you. And of course, I know that CAD Center, whatever CAD Center does, they do to the grassroots level. They are always known for the best services that they provide. Every person coming out from CAD Center, I have seen myself. Generally, what happens? Which college you have studied? Okay, I have studied from MIT. Fine, good. So similarly, you have done your CAD Center education. Okay, good. You are one of the person who is of my use. Come. That's what we say.
Yes.
Yeah.
thank you, sir. We will be putting this clip to our MD, Mr. Selvan. I think he would be really
Thank you. Thank you so
very
much.
great. So give a small final message to the budding civil engineers and to the job seekers. What would you like them to focus on? One thing
Yeah.
which, if they learn, would give leverage their career.
Be true to whatever you have.
Mm.
Whatever you are able to do, don't hesitate to do it. Whatever knowledge you have, keep on sharing
Mm.
and look for the opportunities
Mm.
from wherever you have. Because uh, giving, sharing, understanding will always keep you on a higher step of the hierarchy, higher step of the ladder. So be open and always keep in touch with Kaustub. and the team is the message.
Thank you, sir. I have a great new year ahead, and we
Yes.
are going to trouble you at least once a month. I know quantity estimation is your favorite subject apart from project management.
Right.
So we will conduct, we're launching another concept called as inner circle, where few of our people who are very sincere, who are very eager, we are going to connect them with elite professionals like you for a group mentoring, where they will be
Okay.
posting you questions, and we'd love to have your pleasurable comments on that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pratiksha, for hosting the first of these interviews. Many more to have.
Yeah,
Yeah, sir.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for
Happy
your
New Year, sir.
valuable time, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Thank you. Happy New
Thank
Year.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.